Chapter 17. The Sword and Shield. In time I find that a few of the creatures do indeed seem to have dry gunpowder. And these are often the nastiest ones, who seem to be most entrenched. Sometimes I have a shot at them, but miss.
You have failed. I hope you realize that you have a problem.
One jeered from the top of the southern wing. A stronghold untouched for years. They seem to gain pleasure when they are accusing me of my mistakes. Will I ever actually have these things completely gone? I mutter to myself. One morning, after one of their condemning taunts, I hear a voice quietly behind me.
Only if you use the shield and the sword correctly.
I glance around at the master and we smile at each other. I turn back to the palace and call out with a smile and a laugh. It's written in the book, let me remind you of your status. Your prince, the prince of your little world, is cast out. What's exciting is that even my little failures are now just part of my learning.
Now is the time for the judgment of this world to begin. Now will the ruler of this world be thrown out. John 12.
I ask the master, will you always be here to help? You know, when it's getting too much for me? He nods and tells me,
As long as you totally depend on me. I want you to learn not to be tempted to invent your own devices against these little creatures.
I have this elated feeling of them being trodden underfoot. Whenever I declare what is in store for them, even their jeers and accusations have become noticeably weaker as I've done that. the more I see the situation clearly, see it as the Master does, the more all of these lies are actually destroyed. Even the ones that aren't yet completely gone from my life have an unpleasant destiny. And also they're, well, I guess you would call them distant relatives. Who come in mimicking their dead kin like an old habit. At times I think that the original squatters are back. So real are the masquerades. But the Master reminds me,
They are dead, gone. This part of the kingdom is becoming more and more of a hostile environment to these impostors. And that's all they are, especially as their hiding places keep getting cleared away.
I gaze for a moment at some remaining squatters, then turn my gaze back on the Master. The dark little creatures fade into the background. He fills my thoughts, as long as I'm not facing the other way.
And don't let any clutter back.
The Master reminds me from time to time. And now I know how easy it is to deal with any former inhabitants. That have remained hidden in corners I haven't reached yet.
What's that?
One of my friends asks one day.
I saw a little dark thing.
Don't worry about that, I tell him. That's just one of my old residents. Its time is short. My friend doesn't look impressed. No doubt expecting a more defensive response. Now I actually enjoy it when they pop to the surface to be cleared away. Like the pleasure I get when I plough up all the small surface weeds. That have started to infest my garden. I've learned not to pretend that they don't exist. They feed on any tiny opportunity to regenerate. Like a family of cockroaches. That's what they remind me of. cockroaches can be eradicated. I've noticed that. Then, of course, some of them appear all light and innocent, talking to me with words that sound almost nice. But I listen to them for a while, and before long something pops out that gives them away. All I have to do is listen quietly. It doesn't take long.